Folks, good morning, wherever you're joining us from. Welcome to FYI. We hope that you guys can hear us loud and clear. We hope you have good weather where you are. We're fired up at this end, folks, and we are ready to go. The 2025 general and regional elections campaign is on, folks, and this is where it's at. How you guys are doing? Good morning to all of you. What do you guys have in your utensil for drinking this morning? Folks, it's so good to be alive. It's such an exciting, very, very exciting time to be alive. How you all into it now? Folks, listen, I was reflecting on the massive APNU coalition campaign launch on Sunday, and as I listen back to some of those presentations, they seem to mature like good wine. Y'all know the kind of way? The longer the wine is settled, the more the wine matures. It's fascinating. Love it. So let me bring you all in on that end, folks. Mr. Norton, Comrade Norton, some of you might say Comrade Leader, Aubrey Compton Norton, delivered a very substantive presentation. I knew it then, folks. And as I sip at various points in the day, as I sip this fine wine, my God, and you give it an opportunity to breathe. You give the wine an opportunity to breathe. Nice time. Take a look and take a listen. Some of what Mr. Norton said on Sunday at the APNU Coalition campaign launch. Now them boys following. You talk about them. Listen to class.
That we are the fastest growing economy. Why is it that we're rich, but our people are poor? That is because of the People's Progressive Party. Time up. Time up for the PPP. I want to say this to you. They will seek to instill fear because they're governed by fear. But let me say this to you. When you are confronting a regime like the People's Progressive Party, you have to take them on and not be afraid. Even tonight, that he's saying the APNU dead. Y'all remember that? I want Irfan to go there and look And I dare show you from the office we there for the couple days we left, you can't see the end of this crowd. Those who believe that we were dead were mistaken. We are a strong political party. We are a strong political force. And we beat them before, and we will beat them again. You know, they came to government promising 50,000 jobs. They didn't deliver. But they got a good PR machinery. It's the only people I know would tell a lie and repeat the lie so much that they themselves start believing. But the average Guyanese doesn't. The average Guyanese is well aware that they are not a government for the people. If you look at the buildings going up around the country, you see the imprint of PPP corruption. I challenge both Jack Dale and Irfan Ali. One come from Mahika on a bicycle, and the other one from Lenora walking. And in under 10 years, they have mansions. I invite them to put their income beside their wealth. And if their income, I mean legal one, if their legal income could have come for the property, I will tell them, well done. But it cannot. It cannot. We are dealing with a corrupt regime. And we have to ensure that regime goes its way. We are saying to you, the Guyanese people, we will create jobs. And we will create jobs in agriculture. You know, this government knows full well that there is a high cost of living. And they take no action to deal with it. If 3 or 4 regions are producing all the food for Guyanese, obviously there will be shortage. And where there is shortage, the price will go up. We are saying to you that with our agricultural program, we will ensure that every region has a sustainable agricultural program and producing the food they need. Because if every region is producing its food, then the cost of the food will go down. But if you continue to operate in a way in which just a few are producing all the food, then the cost of living will continue to rise. Even the rice industry, they can't run. I never heard Irfan on rice until I went to Essequibo. And when I met the rice farmers, I sat with them. I said, you got 3 problems. 1, production. You need to get better quality seeds, etc., to increase your production. I then said to them, but to produce by itself is not the solution. You need storage, so we'll build silos. And then you have to distribute it. We'll look for market. In 2 weeks after if I can build silos. I doubt whether you know what's a silo. You know, they have no original views of their own. I could tell you without fear of successful contradiction that if we say bam bam tomorrow, they can say bam bam, but it's saying the same thing. And so we must not be carried away by their rhetoric.
Pace and power, folks. Pace and power. Sunday was so beautiful that if you guys didn't have an opportunity to be there, I'm watching you all sideways. It was so beautiful. You know, I saw one comment on Facebook, and I want this person to come to the front of the class. You know, a young lady says, I thought they said Norton stand up by himself. I thought they said Norton stand up by himself. You know, and I see a lot of folks not wanting to deal with Sunday and the total success that Sunday was. This is the APNU Coalition campaign launch. That they gone back and they're talking about who left the party, who left the movement, and who didn't come to the coalition, and all of these various things because they do not want to deal with the success. Renella, Chandel, Beatrice, Mandy, and all of you folks, they don't want to deal with the success that Sunday's launch was, you know. And now that they've seen that, they're gone and run out and say, oh, we launch now. And we can show y'all. We keep some of y'all people. Well, keep them. We can roll out some more people who cross the floor. Well, you know, we happy for you. You know, all who leave weren't meant to stay. And all who stayed couldn't leave us. We're happy for those who stayed. And then they're saying at their launch, because they got the state resources at their disposal, or they got announced big cash grant and all of these things, big artists coming in and so on. Well, enjoy it for the few days y'all get left, as Mr. Norton says. Enjoy it for the few days that you have left. And as I said, the longer, you know, I listen to these presentations and reflect on them. My Lord, we have some good stuff. We got the real deal, you know. We got the real deal. Better is here, folks. We're not wait for it. Better is here. And you got such a choice in this election. You got such a choice in this election. Listen to some of what the prime ministerial candidate, Rita Finance, said on Sunday at the Square of the Revolution, where it all began. Now everybody run out. You know, they hop out, they skip out, they roll out. Take a look.
Time, Guyana. Whose time is it? It is your time to make sure that you benefit from all of these things. As we move on, I will tell you this. Our country has almost 50%, the majority, I would say the majority. Statistically, it's just about 50%, according to the Bureau statistics. But I'm not going to burden you with the stats tonight. The majority of our young people are informally employed. You know what that means? It means that they are working in jobs that does not come under the normal structure. They're not in the public service. They're not going to an office job. We do what we call a hustle. They're hustling, right? They're working hard. They're hustling. They're not begging for anything. They're making sure they go out and work hard. But guess what? They are not catered for when it comes to these so-called development that the government have. When it comes to housing, there is no proper framework that caters for persons that are informally employed. You would know the amount of red tapes you got to go through when you're applying for a house lot. You would know all the documentations they're asking for when you're going to the bank if you want a loan or so forth. We will fix that because we have a development strategy that is designed and crafted to make sure we cater for the challenges that you face on a daily basis. It is our commitment. It is the commitment of the Aubrey Norton administration to make sure that every single Guyanese that is looking for home ownership has a clear, direct, and simple pathway into home ownership. We will build tens of thousands of houses and homes for you, our people, because you deserve it and you have demanded it because it is your right. It is unacceptable for you to be paying exorbitant prices for rent. The rental market is out there and the prices is going up because the demand, you want more houses than is available. What has the government done for that? Absolutely nothing. They are walking around saying that they're sharing out house lots. And all of you would know that you put your hand in the bag, you collect the number. You wait a year or two for the call you and show you the spot. Then they take you and they show you a spot. No water, no light. Some of the spot in so much water that is $3 million just to pull it up. It's a swampland you just buy. We will be delivering to you, our people, finished homes, because that is what you deserve under our rent-to-own policy that was designed specifically by Aubrey Norton. This is what you call people-centered development. We're not just talking it. It has been planned. That man has been planning for this moment from his very first day in politics. He has been planning, and today it is his time to deliver to his people. And we will support that plan, ladies and gentlemen. It is important for you to know that we need to get our young people out to work. We need to get them out to work. And how do we do that? We are making sure that we will create thousands of jobs through small contracts for road, housing, and community projects. We will get our young people working under an Aubrey Norton administration.
Yeah. We have to get our young people working again. We have to get our young people, folks, engaged again. You see, we got to do that. Please and thank you. Too many of our young people, they express a kind of hopelessness. Say, why we got to go to school and do 20 subjects for only come and get a part-time work? A 10-day job. Why do I need 20 subjects for that? And it's sad that they got to put themselves through all those studies because they got the capacity. We got some bright young people and we are happy that they keep pushing themselves. But the realization is dawning on them. For 10-day work, I got to do all of this. Why I need school on the whole? When our young people start going down that road, folks, we're in a dangerous spot. We're in a dangerous place. That's where we got to pull this thing back from. Good morning to all of you. Thanks for joining our broadcast. Naomi's on the live this morning. Good to see Naomi and Mark and Jelly and is it Kediandra? Good to have you here this morning. And I see Marville and Annette and all you beautiful folks out there. It was such a fantastic launch to this campaign. And we know that we have the winning ticket. The PAP, they are running so scared. They are running so scared. And some of these issues we're going to touch on this morning reflects where we are in this country because they promised to do so much. It's quite a country that we have when houses, just combust like that. Just in today's papers, this headline shouts at us, 6 homeless after Kanji fire. Every day something combusts in this country. Something goes up in flame. Something burned down. Fires of the PPP. And we need such a reorientation to health and safety on the job, in our homes. In our homes, you would think everybody know what to do. But we have to have a national program. Look what happens on our roads. And I ain't talking about the quality of the roads and the bridges yet. Right? I saw some pictures from the crane to schooner to crane. New road. Already disintegrating in parts. If that is not an indictment on this government. But I'm just talking about the carnage on those roads. Maybe it's the potholes killing people. Maybe it's that. But such a reorientation is needed where health and safety is concerned. The safe usage of our roads. And I saw some folks expressing some anxiety. I saw one young man says that himself and his wife said, we're waiting a year to see how this new bridge, the new harbor bridge holds up. Because if you build in roads that crumble in, a bridge across the Demerara River is not an easy feat for people who shirk safety guidelines, for people who cut corners. And so a lot of people are expressing, a lot of people said, look, don't dismantle the old bridge yet. Don't dismantle that old bridge yet. Please and thank you. As I said, a young couple on social media So we can take a year, see how this thing pan out, and then make a decision whether we want to cross this thing. Because highways and roads and bridges built last month are crumbling. This country needs to go in a radically new direction. Billions and millions and trillions of dollars being spent, and yet, what have we to show for it? And these are the kinds of issues that we contend with and that we have to give focus to. But see, the challenge is these guys so busy stealing the country's resources, right? And they're like a one focus kind of administration. They're not multifaceted and multi-talented, ambidextrous, and so on. Right? Multitasking and so on. No. They just focus on thieving. That safety, whether in the homes and our roads and so on, that's left on autopilot. For instance, they give the National Road Safety Council $1 million, $5 million, and they think that could solve the problem. That's not even, they can't even sustain a proper PR budget. But you're aiming to bring down the fatalities, the carnage on our roads. It's not going to work like that. It's not going to work like that. See, GCOM now is saying that GCOM says that they've cleared all party symbols. Some had the challenges, Jaguar, Leopard, the map, all kinds of challenges. But I'm happy to see that everybody at the starting line. That's beautiful. I know some people must be really hoping GCOM disqualify them to give themselves an excuse. Then cry foul. Some people like to do that. Right? They know they can't make it, and then they're going to look for something now. Say, I'm pulling out. On principle or in principle, I'm pulling out. They some people be happy right now if GCOM disqualify them. They can cry foul. Oh, GCOM knew we were going to win. This is some. They were like that. But we all at the starting line now. We all at the starting line. Folks, this is it. The 2025 general and regional elections is on the way. It's on the way and on the way. Right? On the way and on the way. Yep, we had our launch, the APNU coalition. The PPP now run out. They said they got their launch Sunday. They got big artists. Folks, $800 million plus they say they're going to spend. Big artists, bussing these people out from all quarters all over the place. Transportation and stipends, going with most of it. Transportation and stipends. I think it's going to top $1 billion. I think this launch of the PP is going to top $1 billion. And then they're going to announce, to distract you all from wanton wastage of state resources. They're going to announce cash grant. So when you hear that they spend $1.3 billion on this launch, right? And then they say, oh, you got some money coming to you. You don't bother. It's all right. But how many things we could have done with the state resources they're about to squander on Sunday? How many things? Think about that. But I'm happy that all of the political parties are at the starting line. I am very eager to see the campaign launch of some of the other parties, including the PPP. Well, not too eager because we know there's a lot of thieving happen there. But some of the other parties, this augurs well for our democracies. The more political parties we have contending, let 1,000 flowers bloom, I think is the expression. Let 1,000 flowers bloom. Right? But we know, we know the winning ticket, folks, as they said. Sunday was a fantastic launch for the APNU coalition. Right? And now them boys saw what transpired and they're trying to tweak. Right? They're trying to tweak. We understand the playbook. We know what transpired, what media houses were given, what instruction to do what. right? What to downplay, what to emphasize. They plant some people there. Folks, I heard Louis Farrakhan say something many years ago, said something many years ago that has stuck with me. He said, "Oh, your kinfolk is now your kinfolk." It took me a little while to understand that. You know, some things hit you. Later on, you might hear it now, and then 10 years from now, you say, "Oh, that's what it meant. All my kinfolk is now my kinfolk." They plant 1 and 2 people, you know, but they don't have the same intention that you have. You know, some people take a little money too because of how hard things are economically in this country. But the people getting scared, running wild outside, and that is betraying. You know, who cleaning out offices and so on is betraying this confidence and landslide. When last you heard them talk about landslide? Huh? I'm just happy that all of our political parties are at the starting line, ready, set, go. This is it, folks. This is it. Ready, set, go. As I said, Mr. Norton delivered a fantastic presentation. I know they got to go back to the drawing board. Who came in out got to go back and relook. Came in out. If you're now joining us, the APNU Coalition launched its national elections campaign on Sunday at the Square of the Revolution. They said nobody ain't standing with Norton. Well, I stand up here. I know a couple other folks who stand here as well. You know, bring it. Let's go. Here's some of what Mr. Norton said on the Square of the Revolution last Sunday.
Why is it in oil-rich Guyana, you have to have people sleeping on the pavement from Albert Street way up to Camp Street? Are you saying to me that in oil-rich Guyana, we cannot build facilities to help the homeless? If you were saying that to me, you have no conscience. Can you say you got conscience? We are saying to you, we are deeply concerned about the people who live on the streets, and part of our social policy program will be to take care of those people. Many of them, in a proper environment, could be trained and become useful guides. You know, this government misses the point that development is not solely about bricks, steel, sand, and cement. Jagdo himself once said people can't eat road, but he can't now. He can't. We're saying to you, the most important resource in this country is the human resource. We're saying we will pay that resource well. We want to retain our nurses, we want to retain our teachers, so we will pay them well. And we're saying that we will ensure we have a strong technical and vocational program so that a lot of our youths on the road can get training. I am saying to you, the People's Progressive Party has destroyed the youth of this country. They have turned everybody into beggars. And when they can't get through with you begging, they're mad. They're set to punish you. We're saying to you, we don't want you to be beggars. We don't want you to be dependent. We want you to be proud Guyanese who feels the dignity from inside. Dignity sometimes is far more important than wealth, money. We want our people to benefit, but we want it done in a dignified way. You spending a set of money on gold, a goalless gold. You know what's gold? Some Guyana online academic something. It's the only country in the world I know that in about 2 years, you get 200 or something people graduate with doctorates. Some of them are going to end up just like Irfan as a patient. If you don't have a proper doctorate and you're in a hospital, you're going to be a patient. But we are saying to you, we will spend money to train our young people in the best universities in the world. We will put resources into the University of Guyana so that it can deliver. You know, I say this to people. I studied in England. I did my master's in England. And you know, one of the things I was very, very proud of? By the time I arrived in England with a first degree from Guyana, we had already done a lot of the work that the English was doing at the master's level. That is the University of Guyana we know. We know a UG that produce quality graduates.
Yeah, folks, it's the 9th day of July. Welcome back to our broadcast. Thanks for joining us. That's a you remember as well. Peace and Pond. We gotta return this country to its former glory. You know, return it. There's such decadence and decay. You know, roads are decaying, just built. Bridges are decaying, just built. You know, morality in this country, governance in this country, the sectors. We used to be leading. Now we're following. We got to change that. We got to change that. I hope you guys are on the square on Sunday. We got nomination day coming up on the 14th. Nomination day is upon us, folks, on the 14th. GCOM says that, you know, all of the political parties, symbols have been approved. Nomination day comes up on the 14th, like you said. We keep leading. Had a very, very excellent launch of the APNU coalition. And from that, on Monday morning, we stake our claim first in line outside of the Umanayana, where GCOM is going to set up its office for nomination day to accept those forms, those packages, those nomination forms. They're setting up there. And Monday morning, bright and early. And now that we've done that a week before nomination day on the 14th, I hope you got your shoes clean. Join us on the road, folks. Please and thank you. Looking forward to seeing some of you. Please and thank you. You know, everybody run out now. You know, it's a vibe out there. It's a vibe out there. And, you know, people stop by, people bring stuff to make sure we're okay. You know, Chanel said on Sunday, you know, we got a luxury vehicle there. You got jacuzzi, you got washroom facilities. And it's such a vibe, it's such energy out there. So if you're in the city, you know, you're passing by, honk your horn, stop by and say hello. Tell them I send you. If you drop by, say Sherrod said drop by and say hello. And so you're dropping by to say hello. So there was Ganesh last evening. I think this was taken, and Chanel, and I see Dexter and all the other patriots, Robin and all the other folks having a blast out there as we are first in line, maintaining that position. Nomination day is on Monday. It's the 14th, folks. Boots on the ground. And now others are running out. You know, you got to follow the leader, folks. You got to follow the lead. Follow the lead. How you all doing this 9th day of July in the year of our Lord? How you all doing? Everybody run out now. You know, keep leading and others follow. Rena and Diane and Annette, the other folks. Fantastic launch on Sunday. Monday, boots on the ground. I saw the teams out yesterday, like they do every single day in communities across this country. It's such a beautiful thing. Making the argument, folks. Making the argument. Like our prime ministerial candidate on Sunday, Rita Finance, was making the arguments as well. Take a look, Naomi, right? And take a listen. Naomi says, I'm doing good. Backing my horse. Good. Sandra, Allison Jones, Pamela Halls, Kateri. Good to have all of you. Melissa, Good to have all of you on the live. Prime Ministerial candidate for the APNU Coalition Treaty Finance on Sunday, making the arguments as our activists, as our citizens have joined in too. You want to play a part in this campaign. You know, you want to walk a couple streets. You want to be boots on the ground. You want to knock on a few doors. Reach out to us. We'll tell you how you can be a part. Young and old alike. Pace and Power, our Prime Ministerial candidate last Sunday.
Are tired of a country in which the government craft policies to suit themselves, their friends, their family, and who? Their favorites. You know it. I am just reinforcing it. We have got to vote them out. I am proud to stand alongside the leadership of Aubrey Norton, a man that has been in politics since 1972. 1972, and they can't find anything to put on him. He is incorruptible. Do you know anybody else like that? Aubrey Norton is incorruptible, and all he has done in 63 years of political life is to make sure that he prepare himself for this moment. He has prepared himself. He has educated himself. He has walked the ground. He has spoken to you. He met you in the bottom house. I have been with him in the rivers. He knows your struggles, and he has crafted policies that will benefit you, the people. This is your time to shine. This is your time to say that enough of the PPP. We will vote them out. I want to go into the policies. Policies are not really exciting usually, but let me tell you this. The policies of the APNU coalition is the most exciting thing about politics in Guyana in 2025. You would hear the other political parties going out, and they're not telling you anything about policies because they have not crafted policies for you. We do not do it like that. The most exciting things we have to tell you is about what we have to do for you, the people. And that is why I am here today. I want to tell you that cost of living is killing us. Do you agree with that? Cost of living is killing us. Every man, woman, and child is facing extreme price increase in the market. But guess what? Guess what? The PPP do not care. Have you ever seen them at your market? They do not visit those markets. They are not concerned. They are not connected to you, the people, because they are busy spending the taxpayers' dollars. They're busy spending the oil resources money. That's what they're doing. Guess how much they have spent so far? I want this to sink into you. From 2020 to now, the PPP has spent almost $5 trillion. I see absolute shock on the faces here right now. From 2020 to now, the PPP has spent almost $5 trillion. And guess what? They go out there. Let me tell you another number. From 2015 to 2019, the coalition barely spent 1.2 trillion within that entire 5-year period. And guess what the PPP do? They go out there and they say, oh, look, we're building this. We're building this road and we're building this building. And the next week, you see the same road being built again because of their incompetence, because of the kleptocracy of the people. Let me tell you what kleptocracy means. Kleptocracy means they got sticky fingers. Kleptocracy means that when they issue a contract for a road, half the money in somebody's pocket. We know these things. These are factual things. We do not have to convince you. This is mere repetition of the facts that you already know as a people.
Yeah, welcome back, folks. That's fascinating to me. Those numbers, you know, that is fascinating to me. Those very numbers. Welcome back, folks. It's the 9th day of July. Thanks for joining us. Welcome back. $1.2 trillion spent on the coalition. And you could have had consistent raise in wages and salaries. Bridges were built, roads were constructed, still standing strong. Schools and hospitals renovated, folks, enhanced, built. All of that happened. This country's image on the international stage improved. All of that happened. Black House became a thing of the past, and we had power ships and all of that. To close to $5 trillion under the PPP, and people are hurting this bad economically. You know, you heard the prime ministerial candidate talk about inflation, price inflation, the price of things way up in the market. That wasn't under the last administration. $5 trillion later, and people are hurting. And this is a coalition government that put in the infrastructure that is now the national, the natural resource fund, put in that financial infrastructure that we could receive the oil wealth, put in the infrastructure that we could have a new harbor bridge, put in the infrastructure that we could have gas to shore. All of that, the PPP has come and benefiting from more money, 5 times more money. And our quality of life has not improved. That's a little bothersome. That is a little bothersome, folks. The quality of life has not improved. My Lord. What has improved then? You know, that's the question. What has improved? As we wrap up, the lines will change complaining they do not have a copy of the preliminary, I think, list of electors, the PLE. Right? We advise that under law, it's only the major parties, the PUP and the PNC. I say if you didn't get the book printed, it's available in soft copy. They give the hard copies to the major party. I'm advised that's according to law that only 2 major parties. Right? There's a few sheets of paper. I'm certain that won't break the bank for some folks. We can just print it. We have the soft copy. You know, don't want to make that an issue. Next, moving on, the flag stamping by the PPP to Shao. Now, folks, let me be clear. If we got to get permission to go into these villages, Natasha and Avril and Mark and Isabella, if we got to get permission, let us seek permission. Let us seek to be law-abiding people. Everything the PPP is not. They don't abide by the law. They don't obey the law. They don't respect the law. But let us be different. They're not like us. They're not like us. Let us obey the law. That's number one. But let's say that was the case. This political party didn't get permission. You show us the judge, jury, and flag stamper. That is how you register your displeasure. You snatch a flag out of somebody's hand and you stamp up on it. That's the kind of government we want, the kind of people we want to have power. That's the kind of person that is a leader in a community. Now you're going to snatch somebody's, it's not against the law to destroy people's, another party's paraphernalia. It's not part of the law. Beryl, Marvel, I saw one letter writer this morning says, 2 wrongs don't make a right. 2 wrongs don't make a right. I saw one letter writer. So first, let us obey the law. Number one, let us obey the law. And none of us should be taking matters into our own hands, assaulting people. Because your right now becomes a wrong. 2 wrongs don't make a right. So we got to obey the law. Please and thank you. Right? And then in the 2 shows case, you're breaking the law now, assaulting people, destroying people's party paraphernalia. 5 years later, and these electoral fraud cases The AG says nothing is happening before the next election. 5 years. Why are we wasting taxpayers' money? This whole country know this is a political stunt by the government. If they're so interested in fraud, how come they focus on the fraud that we saw emerge out of the ballot box after the national recount? How come we focus on that? If we're so interested in GCOV, how come all of the recommendations, none of the recommendations, all of the recommendations have been ignored by the international observer missions? Not one implemented, recommending so many changes at GCOM that were recommended over the years. Not one recommended in 2020 by the international observer missions have been implemented at GCOM. And this government says they are concerned about the integrity, about free and fair elections. Try another trick, PVP. Try another trick. So the AG says this morning, the prosecution has been reasonably competent. In 5 years, y'all say y'all got this plethora, of evidence to show rigging. And 5 years later, not 5 days, the AG should resign. On that note alone, if they believe in the heart and the sinews, in the backbone, in the feelings that you had rigging during the 2020 or attempted rigging, why has it been so difficult to prove 5 years later? Give us a break, Anil Andelaro. Give us a break, PPP, and stop wasting state resources. Please and thank you. No case submission. Don't waste our time. Don't do it. We ain't got time for nonsense. Don't waste your time. Naomi, 5 years later. Avril, Mark, Diane, 5 years later. Patricia Sanner, Faye, Rasta, 5 years later. Juliet Glenford. You're wasting me time. You're making me something. It's all part of the theatrics. And now we concede because you don't got to manage the expectation of the base. Look, this thing not going to wrap up before the next election. All right? Folks, let me warn y'all. Y'all are about to see some theatrics by the PPP like you have not seen it before, Mark and Avril and Ruhan Basantram. If you think that the PPP will lose this election, as they will lose this election and just give up, that's the part I want to focus on. They will lose the upcoming election. But if you believe they will give up so easily, you will see a stark contrast. You will see a stark contrast. You one of the same people from 2020. If you think they're about to lose this bone, right? They're about to lose this bone. You can see story in the coming days and weeks. It's going to make anything we've experienced in this country look like child's play. You can see some shenanigans with the PPP in the coming days. It's already been fermenting. It's already been there, bubbling up. And you can see some more of it. Brace yourself for the PPP. Brace yourself for them. They're going to lose this election. They're going to lose it. But whether they'll be willing to step out of office easily is another story. Right? And you can see some of their own supporters defend their illegal actions. Brace yourself for it. You think 2020 was anything? We can apologize to everybody in 2020 elections who we condemn. We can apologize to them. You're about to see some shenanigans. You think they just, Naomi just said, hey, back. Have we gone? Think again. They concede power. We gotta look, the courts, the national community, gotta wrestle it away from them. Mark what I'm telling you. They're already setting the stage. Mark what I'm telling you. Osmond and Avril and Mark, thanks for joining us. Diane, thanks for joining us. I see some folks said it's already playing out. Right? Naomi says, I want to see how this Muhammad issue with them play out. Right? Some folks saying Muhammad gonna go back with them sooner or later. Watching to see how it plays out. Watching to see how it plays out. Diane and Juliet, Osman and Tandiwi, Juliet, Avril, Thanks for joining us this morning. Let's leave it there. Let us leave it there, good folks. Until our next broadcast. That's sweet time. That's our program. Lester Allison. Good to have you folks on the live. Veronica, Sandra Hanover. How's the diaspora treating you, Sandra? Good to have you, Priscilla. And I see Maxine, Mark, Melissa, Deborah. Good to have all of you on the live this morning. Thanks for joining us. That's our time. You're passing by, folks, the Court of Appeal area there, the Umanayana. Stop in and see the team. Decked out in brilliant green, emerald. Well, it's not emerald green, but green. Green, folks. Say hello if you pass by there. Honk your horn. Please and thank you. Join in this campaign. Find a way, folks, to join in the campaign. Thanks for joining us. And remember, folks, please remember, we don't run out of water around these parts. And perhaps we don't ask you all nearly enough to come on board, nearly enough these days, to come on board and to partner with us and to help us to keep moving forward. Share the live before you go, good folks. Smash that emoji button as well. And folks, partner with us to keep us moving forward with pace and power. You're going to see a link coming by you, folks. Don't ignore it. All right? Please and thank you. Don't ignore it. Right? Please, don't ignore it. Contribute to our broadcast so that we can keep growing from strength to strength and that we can keep the lights on. You all realize it's 5 years we out here now. 5 years of valid and credible information, and it has been our privilege and it has been our pleasure being out here. Thank you guys so much. You're going to see the link. Let me try and fix it from my end. Yeah, you're going to see it flashing by. Make a donation today and keep us going. 5 years on, pace and power, valid and credible information. We're going to leave it there, folks. Thanks for joining us. Stay safe. Stay safe. I think it's a hard out.